this is what I call a climatic fight. I mean, oh my god, Gyokuen and freaking Judal in this freaking chapter. Just too much fucking energy. It's going way too much in this Magi stuff. Like, I gotta say, the ending to the Gyokuen, Hakuryuu, and Judal fight is just absolutely insane. So we see, like, she got really fucked up at the start of this chapter, you know, she literally had a chunk bitten out of the neck. She's, like, holding herself like that. And she's, like, even still surprised that, you know, that they're able to even use, like, the barrier magic. But, yeah, they really do this, like, strategically and all that, where it was, like, okay, like, they actually got Gyokuen wrapped in a corner. It's like, yeah, she may be the strongest, like, freaking, like, swordsman and all that. But pretty much, like, in a way, Hakuryuu made sure that she couldn't use her arms as swordsman techniques anymore, because she had to literally hold her hand there so she didn't, like, literally run out of freaking blood immediately. Because let's think about it, like, she's probably losing liters of blood there a second. So I think that was actually pretty strategical of Hakuryuu even to begin with, just to even take that freaking chunk out of her. But it's like, when you just say, like, she was, like, just saying, like, oh, it doesn't matter and all that. It's like, this is a plan, it's just fine. Or it's like, that person will still be right. So I'm guessing she is talking about David, of all people, like, say, okay, that has to be him. It's like, what if it was like Father, she would have said, oh, Father would be a revive or something like she did last time. Said that person or like, I'm pretty sure she is referring to David and, you know, bring back the big original Rook. And just like, if David is ever revived, which I feel like Hakuryuu right now might be a great catalyst to what I feel like might have happened in this chapter. I feel that Hakuryuu is going to be made into the catalyst to bring back that old bastard yet again. But it's like, I gotta admit, Judal just going crazy. Like, it really shows more, like, I like this little mini arc. It's like, shown more into Judal's character than we've ever seen of him, like, tripping her up. And he's like there, kicking Gyokuen in the stomach, going, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, like, 20 years you've kept me enslaved. Like that. It's like, he's like, how dare you fucking raise me all this time and all that. He's like, if you weren't around, it's like, oh, what happened? Like it's like, this just shows how far and twisted. I feel like at this point Judal is screaming for help. Like, I feel like this is the closest and all that we've actually come out, like, once he's finally, like, let everyone know, or let the world know that, you know, he's that fucked up. Because, you know, ever since Aladdin found out, this is what really prompted this change in him. Because I'm pretty sure before Aladdin, then, he was still kind of like a mindless drone watcher. We kind of saw him, if anyone's ever seen the Sinbad manga, he kind of felt like that as well. So I really do feel like, you know, Judal right now, this is him kind of breaking out, but yet he's dealing with two, like, internal wars inside of his mind or something. Because it's just like, he's battling out and he's literally going psycho out of it. And it's like, oh my, it was just crazy just go throughout this chapter. And it's like, when you see freaking, like, Hakuryuu, like, chop up her fucking head, it's like, and she's like there begging, like, no, it's me and your mom. Is like, I don't even care, woman. And she just chops the head down, and you just see that grin, that evil looking grin, and she just explodes. And it's like, if it wasn't for the last second, if it wasn't for Hakuryuu's Borg, both of them would have been blown to smithereens. But it's like, she must have done a lot more than that. Either that, or she's like, because I don't think she'd be like, no, my plans up to here fail. Like, because she was saying, okay, it's all working. You know, I can make it work this way. At the same time, and it's like, okay, so she's either, like, implanted herself, like, with what the other, you know, Alpha Army members did, like, especially with Ethna, like, what they did probably to, like, Alibaba or something like that. I imagine she's probably implanted herself either into Hakuryuu or somehow into Judal. I'm guessing more with Judal, because he seemed a lot more suspect in this chapter than anyone else in this one, especially how he's talking to Hakuryuu, because literally it was like a 7-week, like a week time skip straight after this, like, a little incident, and it's like, oh, you're all right, you know, everything's fine. And that's the current Hakuryuu that we're seeing from now. And it shows that, you know, I'm gonna kill Koen. I'm gonna, like, change this order and all that. Because think about, like, how Koen and Kome are trying to get around through stuff and all that is literally by, like, getting rid of the past, getting rid of the pain and all that, and pretending that, like, you know, that's all swept on the run. That never happened, by changing history, by changing people's minds, manipulating them at the. And whilst, like, Sinbad and everyone else is saying, yes, we got this situation, we've had some really fucked up stuff, but if we work together, whilst with the new Co-Empire with Hakuryuu, it's like, fucking yo, whoever's the strongest wins, like that. That's sort of how it is. Like, the strong victors change history and all that. And that's one thing that makes me really wonder about that. It's like, Hakuryuu's PowerPoint at this like point. Obviously, you know, he just took over the Empire and all that, so he's pretty strong and all that. But it's like, how many of those people are actually going to obey him? Like, you know, we think about, you know, yeah, he's got the whole Zargan ability combining with Belial and all that. So it's like, yeah, he's got like a little combination going on there. But it's like, but how many people he would have to manipulate to do that and all that? And just at the end, you probably just have like mindless fucking drones. So, and not to mention, I can't entirely trust Judal. I mean, Judal was never to be trusted in the first place, but even so, right now, how he is like breaking apart. I feel like he's actually going insane, and it's like one thing that made me very curious about that is like he couldn't absorb anything from like Gyokuen at all. Like saying, oh, well, I can never absorb any of that. Like what he did with like Mogami during, you know, the Magna Start War and all that. And I think about, okay, if you absorbed one of the original Magi's, one of the ones that, you know, could limitedly keep getting that. It's like, oh my god, like think of how strong Hakuryuu. And I just love that page at the end when you see both of them looking like fucking beasts. Like you see Hakuryuu there, and he looks like freaking straight up David. He genuinely looks like David with the eye, with the power and everything. I just love that Shinobu's art as well. Just even when he shows Shadow, like he like knows about Hakuryuu's like sick, twisted way adjusted, and he doesn't care. He's like, oh, I'm still gonna follow you to the end. It's like, yeah, we're probably gonna be the last two motherfuckers alive on this earth, but who cares and all that. Our justice is right. It's like, this is Magi here, people, and I fucking love this shit. And it's like, okay, so it's like now how we're gonna move on from this, because it said like next week's gonna be an interesting development. So it makes me wonder, actually, with what's going on now, Manga, are we actually gonna see like, you know, Alibaba, Hakuryuu, and like all their reactions like now to like what has Hakuryuu done with the Gyokuen and stuff like that? Or are we still going to see a little bit more of Hakuryuu and also as well with Judal, like see how, you know, what's going on with them right now? They're going to be starting their evasion and try and take out like the Koen, the rest of them right now, because I mean he's got the capital right now, so yeah, they're going to have to work on some shit right now to actually get back that capital. But it's like, I really, really want to see what's going to happen now with like Aladdin's group right now. That's the one thing I'm very interested in. But it's like at the same time, I kind of like it being here with like Judal and Hakuryuu, because they're such very interesting right now. Especially Judal is like one of the most interesting characters right now in this series, because we're finding out all this crazy stuff about it and just how OP he is. So overall, amazing chapter. I'm going to give this one a 9.5. Like I said, the only reason it's not a 10 for that shock value, even though she did get her freaking head chopped off and all that, it's like, we did know that this is going to happen, so if it wasn't this, it would be like, oh my god, it's like, you know, 10 out of 10, straight up Magi, absolute great, because there was nothing at all wrong with this chapter. You know, just a little spoilers ahead that we already knew that the head was going to come off, but it's like, yeah, other than that, loved this chapter, thought it was amazing, incredible. I mean, what else can I say apart from it's just Magi greatness, and everyone who hasn't seen the Magi greatness needs to see the Magi greatness. It's just, I'm saying it, and I'm fucking done. But that's all for me. Also, thank you very much for watching as always. Remember, I'll see you guys next time.